Does a clone have a soul to you? Here's the problem. If you've got people that are clones, I know it's a wild way of thinking about things, but if you've got clones that can have babies, right? So you clone people and then they start having babies. Will the baby of the clone have a soul? Hey, this is the lie right here. The sperm is the human. That was the day they shut the internet down. Normal people's brains completely shut down. High IQ people where they can't.
You eat a lot of acid, Miller, back in the hippie days?
Think anymore. And that's what a clone does. Once his information that he has been programmed to have through school and everything else, he can't take any more information in other than unless it's from the establishment. If you clone somebody and you take a piece of Bill Gates's brain and then you take the nucleus of the egg of a female and then you shock it with electricity and that brain matter starts eating the nucleus. Hey, just think about it like this. If you got here and you figured out how to poison everybody, are you going to tell all of your ancestors that you didn't invent any of that you killed the people you got it from and now you own it and now you're in charge? The best thing they're good at is poisoning people, man.
The buildings in Chicago, the manufacturer's building, would house 300,000 people. There's a giant statue in the middle of the lagoon. It was called the Golden Lady, and it was known as the Statue of the Republic. It was 65 feet tall. They say it was covered in gold leaves that had copper underneath, but others speculate it was actually made out of solid gold. So you're talking 65-foot high, potentially solid gold statue. We're talking giant structures and looking like ancient Rome with towers and domes and columns and the most fine, ornate pieces to them in these record, unbelievable times. Then as soon as they're done, chuck them in the garbage.
Now that unlocking the secrets to every human gene is within man's reach, the opportunities for vast, beneficial scientific breakthroughs are great. But so are the responsibilities.
French cult leader known as Rael was questioned today by members of the U.S. Congress as they grapple with the moral and ethical issues surrounding human cloning. Rael believes humans were created from the DNA of aliens. According to the Raelian scriptures, human cloning is the only way to achieve eternal life. The controversial cult leader has been invited to testify because of his claims that he has the technology to clone a human being.
I'm very, very pleased to announce that the first baby clone is born.
מנכ"לית חברת קלונייד העידה אתמול בבית משפט בפלורידה שהתינוקת המשובטת הראשונה בעולם, איב, חווה, אכן נמצאת בישראל.
If you know the history of the United States is flawed, and you know that every bit of history they've told us is the timelines and everything about it is wrong, then at that point right there you can figure out that basically all of this information was stolen, right? Basically, In America, there were already trains, there were railroads, everything was already here when they exterminated the people that were here, and then they claimed it for themselves. It's just like all the great cities that are around the world that they don't tell you about, the civilizations that were here and all the stuff. It's just like all the stuff about the world's fairs, and like in Chicago in 1893, where people from all over the world came to this Chicago fair that they just happened to build in a swamp in the middle of nowhere, and you could fit the pyramids inside some of the buildings. Have you ever heard that, where you could fit the pyramids inside of buildings at the World's Fair in 1893? But they just built this to tear it down, and then they had these machines and moving sidewalks where they could actually get on a sidewalk like an escalator, and they had freezers, and they lit up the place like nowhere in the world had ever been lit up. I'm just saying, if you were in the same environment that we're on now, the same Earth, but you were the size of a G.I. Joe or a Barbie doll, right? You're 12 inches tall. What do you think the world would be like at that point?
Possible to clone another me, a mini-me, perhaps. Well, scientists believe that cloning humans is possible, but technically very difficult. It took 277 attempts to produce Dolly. Nevertheless, providing the technique can be refined to work in other species and more efficiently, the cloning of Dolly does have massive implications for the future of biology and medicine, and for the future of the human species.
When they announced the successful cloning of the first mammal, will there ever be another you? Ahead of what is available to the general public.
Scientists have already cloned a sheep. Researchers are telling us the next step could be to clone human beings to create individual, designer stem cells, essentially to grow another you.
You're worried about evil clone armies.
Research side of cloning, not on the reproductive.
That means cloning to create stem cells that can grow into replacement organs.
A kind of diary.
Is there any chance we'll actually see...
Either by putting technology into them, normal. It's just complete.
Any chance we'll actually see a human version?
It has both the money and the scientific expertise. Some people have been saying this is...
They have to be able to be in...
I got something for you today. More bioelectricity than a 120-volt battery and over 25,000 BTUs of body heat. Combined with a form of fusion, the machines had found all the energy they would ever need.
And then I went to the autopsy that everybody else had, and that was a fake. That was a photo
There are
fake.
fields, endless fields.
They cloned
where human beings are
Microsoft man, Bill Gates.
We are grown.
TV no more. They don't. Everybody's online onto YouTube and make you pay for that shit. Pick.
For the
To
longest
be you in
time,
suspense, hump that gonna join suit. They ain't gonna.
I am not an elephant. I am not an animal. I am a human being.
How's business this morning?
Pretty good. I made about 12, 13 quid, and that was without not having any arguments with anyone. That's pretty just straight. If you don't get your head kicked in.
Shoot a messenger, string 'em up. She's a 10 plus 10, not enough. Mixed messages, wise cross. Marry me, what you got too much. Toothbrush and socks. Parents minute Mayfair, couple dogs. We go on walks, she never talks. I pull my heart out, she laps at my blood. Blue light, double vision. Heart races like supercars. 2 drinks, the room spinning. 70, you're the ace of hearts. High society, cute kittens. Allergies, I don't like you enough. Block me on your private Vista. scream out wow. Nicotine, can't quit it. Two's up, two's down. You stop it out before I finish. On my arm and I scream out wow.
Tell me where the wind blows away. Sick and tired of all the bitching and everything you say to make me feel like I'm okay.
Door man, let me in the door. Spend all my money, you ain't getting no more wages. Sure, sir. Sir, are you sure? Ensure I'm not a mob. You can drag across the floor inside. Shell shock. She's standing with the guy. Guys, your man, stare him out real polite. No, please, no thanks. Wanna drink, I'm alright. Beer goggles on, pull the wall, now I'm blind. Clear as day, I can see. You made me melt. Sun ice cream. You smooth like felt. Soft to the touch. You wear repellents for yourself from up above. Angel getting carried out the club. For slapping Harry, Harry's just a mug. Stood outside, waiting where you gone. Cubicle lines, catch a cold Jack Frost. Nicotine, can't quit it. Two's up, two's down. You stop it out before I finish. On my arm and I scream out wow. Nicotine, can't quit it. Two's up, two's down. You stop it out before I finish. On my arm and I scream out wow.
Just about any type of drug is in, but glue sniffing ranks equal number one with cheap booze.
Hello.
We all clone.